Hey guys, we just got back from Return to Silent Hill. Yes, if you never even heard this one coming out, they dumped it in January because...
Why, Joe?
Because guess what?
Why?
Don't say it. It's
Don't
too early.
say it.
It's early in the video.
Fuck you, it's January.
Fuck you, it's January!
RLM. Okay, so actually, Bone Temple turned out to be pretty good. If you haven't seen our review of that, go watch it. That was a zombie movie with some horror, some psychological kind of delving in there and playing with the lore, and I thought it was good. So this kind of goes against it until apparently Return to Silent Hill and Mercy decided to show their faces. So we decided, because we're a video game channel, to go see Return to Silent Hill. We might have a review for you on Mercy later. But when this thing debuted, I would like to point out that on Rotten Tomatoes, it debuted with a 0%.
It went up whenever we went to the movies.
Yeah. Later on, it went to a 7%. And now it's sitting comfortably at a 9% rating.
It's going up.
Holy shit. Yeah, the trajectory is going up, Joe. I'm sure we're headed for
to the
headed for 90% here by the end of the day, right? No. Critics overall hate the movie. Now, granted, remember, this means 6 out of 10 are below the majority of people. Doesn't necessarily mean they all think it's a 1 out of 10 on the grand scale of things, at least on Rotten Tomatoes.
Garbage.
But yeah, I must admit, I've seen, I was hanging out with a fan of Silent Hill, and I've seen the Silent Hill movies. The first Silent Hill movie, I gotta say, I kind of enjoyed. I thought the female cop in that one had some charisma, was interesting. Fucking boss battle looking thing at the end. I know it doesn't have anything to do with Silent Hill, or, they changed so much that it's a little bit unrecognizable. But that was done by Christoph Gans, and this was the same director that did this one. And so I liked the first one. I wouldn't say it's good. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. I'll hear from Alex on what he thinks. But the second fucking film, Silent Hill Revelation.
Is that Kit?
Which was Kit Harington. You want to see how bad of an actor Kit Harington is. And you want to see, goddammit, how, what is it? Sean Bean keeps getting in these terrible projects. Silent Hill Revelation 2012 was awful. So fucking hard to watch to get through. So, knowing that, that's where my expectations were set. Now, here's the caveat. I have never played Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill 1 all the way through or anything like that. I've seen snippets when the boys played the remake, and so I don't know deep lore stuff. However, after watching the first Silent Hill movie and the second piece of shit movie, I watched a lot of YouTube videos and I got into the lore, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll play Silent Hill when I have some time. Don't have time. But I know it's at a 9%, and I know it's a bad movie, but I'm going to go ahead and buck the trend, and there's like one positive review out of like so many critics right now. I'm going to say I kind of liked it. I thought it was somewhat at least faithful to the ideas, atmosphere, and themes, and some serious, there's some hard topics that Silent Hill 2 deals with. Some really mature topics and some uncomfortable topics. And that's a lot where a lot of these monsters come from. People think, oh, man, the Pyramid Head is so cool. And then this monster over here is so interesting. Like, these are based on fucking crazy, warped, monstrous versions of real-life things, like psychosexual things that are uncomfortable to talk about. And probably would get demonetized more than me saying fuck. And Silent Hill 2 dealt with those themes so well, and I think that's why the game has a cult following and is adored by fans. And so in that sense, I think that this one was far more faithful to the source material. Though I asked Alex when we were leaving, because Alex is going to be our resident expert here, and you'll hear from him in a second, whether it was faithful. No, they changed things. So it's like, God damn it! It's like, why do you keep changing things if this was so faithful to it? And then for me, this was a superior film to Silent Hill Revelation 2012. Like, that is just that is what I expected walking in after having seen Silent Hill Revelation, and I got something that's better than that. The CGI is better than that. The performances are better than that, and it sticks closer to the spirit of the game. That film has a 8%. So, surprisingly, it's actually losing now. Silent Hill Revelation is 8%, and Return to Silent Hill this year, 9%. We'll see if that holds or if it goes down, but I'm telling you, this film is a lot better than the sequel that they did. So, yeah, I'm going to be like the lone voice where it's like, I liked it. Now, is it scary? Does it have jump scares? No. It's not scary, and it doesn't really have jump scares, which I usually hate jump scares, but I like them when they're done well. But they're not even here, so I didn't really miss them. This is more cerebral, oppressive, dealing with like sexual themes. It's hard to look at because if you've never played Silent Hill, or at least you don't know the plot, what's really going on here, I can imagine people in the theater being like, what the fuck is going on? Who is that? Why is this happening? This is pissing me off so fucking much. And why would you do that? Why would you kill this? But this is making me mad. And then getting so frustrated that you'd get punched out of the film by the time the film does a reveal and you go, oh, oh, I see. And then you think about some of the monster situations and you go, oh, gross. So I could totally see somebody hating it and not understanding it as they go through, expecting it to be like, a traditional horror film where it's super scary, bring her back, or, talk to me, some of the great horror films recently, Babadook. It's not that. And I think the flaw here is that it tries to condense. How long is the game, Alex?
The cutscenes is only like 2.5 hours.
Okay, the cutscenes are 2.5 hours, but the game is, I assume,
it's very long, yeah.
Longer than 10 hours. They try to cut this down to, a movie length, and I think that the themes, the emotions, because there has to be this intense connection between James and Mary that you feel, and you're like, wow, there's so much chemistry there. I understand why he loves Mary so much, and all this, at least initially. And you don't really get that in this film. If it was a TV series or something like that where you're doing multiple episodes and you can flesh out some of this stuff, I think it works better. But it does feel a little rushed, a little truncated, and therefore the scares or the psychological bits are not quite as effective. But overall, I didn't think it was fucking garbage. Knowing that it had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes when I walked in, I guess that's what lowered my expectations, and so I'm a little higher than that. Joe, are you a Silent Hill fan?
I played a little bit of this one. I played some of the remakes, but I played a little bit when Alex was reviewing it. I basically collected a lot of bullets. I didn't really do anything. But no, this movie I thought had some pretty good visuals sometimes. They did some of the cutscenes pretty well. It looked like it was shot for shot. But unfortunately, I was still kind of bored. I didn't feel like there was a lot of tension with these monsters some of the time.
Yeah.
And, I know the story, but I felt like the editing was kind of off for me, and I felt like I would have preferred them to kind of trickle some of the trauma or what was going on in between, not just at the end. Because at the end, you just basically get everything. It's like, okay, this is what happened at the end. It's like, well, that kind of, ruins it. For a lot of people, it's like you got to get them hooked, give them a couple pieces here. It's like, oh, what's going on? You kind of piecing these clues together, kind of keep them along. But I felt like this one was just, it was just bored.
Yeah, and I can see that. Maybe the direction, the way it was filmed, the plotting, the pacing, and then going back and forth between memories and current Silent Hill stuff that was happening. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
you're jumping back and forth, and the monsters also. Some of the CGI wasn't very good, but it's fine. Probably a cheaper budget.
Yes.
But the monsters just really didn't seem like they were very scary or anything. If you're in Silent Hill, I want to feel that sense of dread or tension or something. I didn't really get that.
Yes.
And with me, the main character also was not very charismatic or anything, so it was kind of hard for me to kind of like latch on to somebody.
James is not necessary. See, this is what's good. James is not necessarily a hero. He's not necessarily a character you like or should like, because what's revealed here kind of sorry, I'm not going to get into spoilers.
If you know Silent Hill, you know why you're there and stuff that happened. But I think I could have sworn it would have been a different way. We'll talk about it in spoilers, but I just felt like I don't know, just really didn't really.
I totally understand what you're saying. Man, but I gotta say that the CGI on the fucking bugs and shit that come out, and then the look of some of the monsters and the grossness of the designs, leagues above Silent Hill Revelation. It's like Silent Hill Revelation literally had a $10 budget, and this thing feels like $200 million compared to that. So that's where I'm coming from. And even the original Silent Hill, you know, this is basically on par with the original Silent Hill. Maybe a little bit better due to today's technology from whatever that was. But, okay, Joe, I can totally see. So that's what I think most people are going to come into this. If they don't know anything about Silent Hill, you're going to be confused, you're going to be bored, and you're going to be like, why isn't this scarier? Now, there's two major disappointments, I think. I think the nurse scene, huge disappointment. Everybody loves the nurses. This is a fan favorite thing. You got to do them well. And honestly, the nurses were done worse than in 2006, the first Silent Hill, and even Silent Hill Revelation had better nurses there, because you have to get real close to them. And they're not moving, and there's way more tension, and I'll make sound.
I thought they were going to do something like that. It was like real quick. I was like,
it was just like, here's the thing.
It's like, remember this, remember that, remember. Like, okay.
This focused way more on James and Mary, and I gotta find Mary, rather, and we're just running. Oh, there's the monster in that room. I gotta find Mary. we don't take the time to engage with the monsters, and that is this film's major weakness. I'm not saying this is a good film, okay, but I am saying that it does seem to be true to the themes, and it's not as bad as 0%, but it got some things right, and I want to like it more than I end up liking it. I don't think it's a good film. I don't think it's one that you need to rush out and see. But from what I'm seeing, people shitting on it like it's absolute trash, and then seeing a 0, and then like, let's dogpile on it. I think
straight to streaming. Just check it out then. It's like straight to DVDs.
Okay, there's all the ignorance for you, right? The people who don't know what they're talking about with regards to, the video games. Alex, what the hell is going on in this fucking movie?
I think it's garbage, my friend. So the problem is, like, the story in Silent Hill truly is amazing. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, they tackle really complex topics. It's done in an interesting way. Mm-hmm. And the relationships are really kind of cool to see how they play out. And they muted or changed everything.
Okay, I see. Like, I don't know. I didn't know that.
What's crazy is,
I was like, hey, is that little girl in the games? I was like, yeah, there's a little girl
sort
in the
of,
game.
but they could wildly
hey, is that chick that looks like his girl? Is it in the games? Yeah, it's in the games.
Yeah, but so they
but it's not. The
Eddie's
same.
in the movie for like 2 minutes, and he's just like, there's no resolution to Eddie.
That
Angela's character is wildly changed and is actually blended with another character. Like, they completely changed who Lauren is, and how like they changed fundamentally the rules of Silent Hill for this movie. It's rough. And so I have all the same complaints that you guys did about, like, they did the monsters very poorly. They did I don't need jump scares. I don't need him to jump out and do these things, but I want him to walk through a narrow hallway, and there's a frozen nurse, and she's got a knife in her hand, and I need him to sneak past, and I need her to twitch. And it's the easiest layup in horror film history, and
they don't do it.
There's nothing close to what I described as far as horror or terror or dread in this movie. Now, They did some scene-for-scene remakes of stuff that was in the game that whoever was in charge of sets or design, like 10 out of 10 knocked it out of the park. They found a location, the opening location, where there's like this, this bathroom next to this thing, and it is perfect.
Set designs look
crazy good.
Incredible.
And then so there's parts in the apartment building where there's times where things are on fire, and it's a different reason why it's on fire from the game that is in the movie. They just have it on fire because it was in the game.
Looks cool.
But it's like they did a really good job there. I don't think that the actor who was playing James was given great material. I don't think that Maria was given a lot of great stuff to do. Actually, they cut a lot of the Maria stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the Maria character in the spoilers.
Yeah, and then
I kind of get what it is, but I need confirmation.
When they completely changed, to my knowledge, wildly changed the whole Mary backstory, and the Mary story is really interesting because it changes from this simplified everything, like ham-fisted simplification. Before it was like really complex. You're just like, man, I'm uncomfortable with like how complex the situation is, and so they kind of gutted that whole thing. So like everything that I thought made Silent Hill 2 the game amazing, it's sanitized, it's muted, it's just like everything is just compressed, and then on top of that, there's none of the horror or the scary stuff. So it's like, I think the story is really cool. If you want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, there's probably 100 channels on YouTube that you go Silent Hill 2 remastered cutscenes, and you'll have a great time. And you'll like feel some of these characters.
It'll be better than this film?
I think it'll be better than this by a lot. And so
I haven't done that, and so I should do that.
I didn't enjoy my time here. Because,
that's a fucking shame.
Because you know the story, and you're like, hey, this is really good, and we played it recently enough where it's like it's fresh in my mind. And it's like, oh, this is nothing like how it should be. This is, if you had changed nothing, it would have been better. And instead, you changed all of this shit, and every one of the changes you made that you went out and made as in the writing room, you made it worse. And this is why your movie's in January.
So my understanding, because I don't have the deep understanding of the way the game is supposed to be and the way the things that were in the game. This is not that. This is, you have to almost look at that, and I think the reason why I like it more is because I didn't know any of that. So if you go into this film looking at it, this is an alternate universe Silent Hill story, okay? And it's not the game. Then I think it's going to work. Because the themes are all there. Now, Alex said that in the game, the thing behind Mary is more complex. But here I thought, oh, they're throwing in whatever the fuck they want, or they're doing something new with it, which is complicating it when it was rather simple. Now, we'll have to talk about in spoilers the simplicity of it and the relatability to that simplicity of it. But when you're throwing in some additional stuff like, I don't know, satanic cults or some weird shit, fucking father, I don't know, that there's a shrine to the father. I don't know. Is that in the game?
No, that's all new.
Okay, see, I thought that shit was kind of stupid. They were trying to add another layer of grossness or mystery or intrigue, and it wasn't working for me because my rudimentary understanding of the game is, this is what it is.
Well, it fits, that kind of stuff fits the location of Silent Hill.
Okay.
But like, I think that what originally happened in the game, I just think is more compelling and more interesting. Now, what's exciting about it is, if you found any of the parts of this movie interesting and you like the visuals, definitely check out the game.
You're gonna
because
like
you're getting whiffs of all of the really cool parts that I think what makes what used to be Silent Hill, because now it's just, Silent Hill can be in Japan, and it can be like kind of a boring, not very good story that's too combat focused. Fuck that game. Yeah. This, not very good. But like the remake was really good. So I think that, if you're getting whiffs and you're liking some of the cool stuff there, definitely check out at least the cutscenes, because I think you'll like it.
It seems like this is a film for fans only. General audience moviegoers wouldn't probably really like it very much. They would want it to hit harder in certain areas for just the mass entertainment appeal. But then not even that, because then you take the video game fans like Alex and you cut them in half, because it's like, this is nothing like the game. This is an alternate universe. What's the fucking point of this if the game is stronger in every way? You just have to. This guy Christopher Gans has been doing. This man, you're going to tell this man loves Silent Hill. He's been doing this since 2006. It's like, bro, it's time to stop. It's time to stop remaking the fucking Silent Hill game and changing things.
It's going to be a hit.
Because he keeps fucking trying to change things. He's like, don't worry. My Silent Hill will be faithful. Then it comes out and he changes a bunch of stuff. And it's like, wait, what was that ending? What the fuck are you doing? And then the second Silent Hill comes out. He's taking characters from the original, wanting to bring them forward into a stupid sequel, but then making them the different characters and aligning them with other video game characters. And then they has a $10 budget and he does it far worse. And it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. And then he changes things. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it. And then he does this. He's like, don't worry. The trailer made it look way more faithful, right, Alex? Oh, hey, it's the guy. It's a male lead, and it's not a female lead, and it's James, and this and that, and we're going to stay way more faithful. And then apparently we've changed things.
All sorts of stuff.
What the fuck? God damn it. All right, Christoph Gans, you stopped it. That's it. If this bombs, you're done. It's over with.
20 years. You've had 20 years to figure it out.
It's time to let somebody else do it. But at this point, because you've beaten it, he's almost like he's like Uwe Boll for just Silent Hill.
That's what, honestly, I was getting whiffs of that today. Like, I was watching, I was like, I think he would have made the movie exactly like this.
If you gave him a huge budget, I guess.
I wonder if this guy's never played the game and his buddy played the game and his buddy told a stranger and then that stranger told him.
It's a game decades and he still has it.
It's a game of telephone where it's like, he does what now?
All right. Kind of right, but okay. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think we pretty much covered it. Joe, is this? We went to the theaters. We were predicting how many people would show up. I said 6, not including us, so that would have been 9 people. I lost. It was only 2 other people, so 5 people in our theater. I guess everyone went to see Mercy, or Bone Temple, or people don't really, go back to the theater.
There's
I guess,
no point.
January.
Fucking expensive and.
Nah. You get some bullshit like this. Joe, is this worth seeing in theaters? Alex, is this worth seeing in theaters?
It's not worth seeing under any circumstance.
I disagree with that. I think you should see it if you're interested in Silent Hill.
Yeah, whenever it's on VOD or whatever you want to watch it, because I watch the shitty ones on streaming service.
Alex, have you seen Silent Hill Revelation?
I have, yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think of that one.
Oh, it's not very good at all.
Is this one better than that one?
So, it depends. They're both really bad. But so the thing is, it's like, one is doing its own thing, and you don't care because it's doing its own thing, and it's terrible.
Yeah, but it's so terrible. There's no budget. It's a zero budget doing its own thing.
So, but imagine there's a story that you love, and you know every point of the story, and then they ruin every one of the characters. And then so it's like they fucked up something that was good. Yeah. Is that more of a crime than just making something on its own that's bad?
I got you. You're the wrong person to ask because you care about this material, and this is it's good this way. If you change it, then it's bad. For me, I don't give a shit exactly. I like the themes, and I'm thinking this is way better than Revelation. Joe, have you seen Revelation?
Recently, yes. I saw it again because
again?
I don't know
what to do.
Listen. Sometimes I'm like, the movie wasn't that bad, and I'm like, I watch it again. I'm like, holy shit! I watched that, and I did it to myself.
Kid Harington.
I was doing some dishes. I was like, I just needed something, and I put Ghostbusters on. I was like, was it really that bad? I watched it again. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking bad.
2016 Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The fucking.
I saw it in no.
All right. Well, that's it. Let's go for final verdicts on this one. I'm so curious. We're gonna have Alex go last. Joe, you go first.
This is below average for me, even a little bit more. I would say probably a 3, because honestly, I was bored.
Mm-hmm.
There were some cool shots, like some of the scenes, and because at first you asked me, it's like, did I play the game? It's like, I don't think I did. But like watching the movie, some of the shots, I was like, holy shit. It's like, oh, this reminds me of this. It's like, oh, yeah, I did play this game. Mm-hmm. And it started coming back to me because I played a little bit of it. And I was like, oh, sets were great. Some of the CGI was all right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that I wanted, some of the horror elements were there in Silent Hill. We kind of sped through everything. The editing was kind of back and forth. And the meat of it that I kind of wanted like to delve into with the Marion stuff was like at the end. It's like the last 20 minutes of it. It's like, well, if you would have kind of put it throughout, it would have been better for me. But I was fucking bored.
Do you remember the first film? Did you watch the first one?
Yes.
What would you rate the first one all those years ago? 2006.
Compared to this one, I'd probably give it like a 7.
7. Okay. So as I told you before, I'd give Silent Hill 2006 a 6. This film I would give. I'll tell you, so 2006 gives you more interesting characters, or characters I care a little more about. There's the cop. There's dangerous because there's like another faction. There's like actual people running around in Silent Hill, and they fight a little bit. And then you get the monsters. Now, the CGI is not as good because it came out in 2006, but surprisingly holds up kind of well. At least the transformation between the worlds is done well. And then you get the kind of a boss battle at the end. So I think Silent Hill 6 out of 10. So I'm going to go with this one a 5 out of 10. I think, it's like, why do you keep remaking the thing? And you say you're going to be more faithful, but then you don't be more faithful. And then you're pushing elements here that I think were weaker. So what is done here, what this one focuses on, is James and Mary and James's trauma and resolving the Mary thing. And that is laser focused. Their relationship, their love, their meaning, all of that. And everything else was given less importance. And no, because you raise the importance of the monsters, raise the importance of the boss battles and other people within the Silent Hill area that film have. Maybe you can't do it because that story, I keep comparing it to a story that's not Silent Hill, and this is the Silent Hill story, but that doesn't excuse the fact that the nurses were so weak. You could have put so much more tension there. The Pyramid Head, while cool, wasn't scary or anything like that, and it's just more audience-pleasing moments. He, over time, has narrowed Silent Hill down to one specific vision that he wants to do over and over, and it's just not mass appeal anymore. And so if you like it, you're going to be in the minority, but I think that you'll appreciate some of the things that are here. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10. Alex, what do you think?
Are you going to be excited if you do Silent Hill F movie?
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to see that.
Oh, my God, no.
Can't wait. It's going to be great. I think that any of the points I'm giving this are based on how much of an amazing job they did with some of the set designs and some of the location choices.
Yeah.
I mean, they did truly – it's a really – I mean, all of the positive feelings – it's just like looking at it, it's like, wow, that looks exactly like the thing, and that looks like that, and that looks like that.
I get that.
And so that's where it's getting most of its points, or some of the stuff that's kind of related to the way that it was in the game. But I can't even say that this is just slightly below average. I think this is a bad movie. I think it's a bad adaptation. So I'm gonna go with a 3. I think that there was a layup here. There was a story he could have followed. And then he just didn't, and he wanted to do his own thing. And so if you want to spend 20 years remaking Silent Hill things, but you constantly want to like put your own fucking spin on it, it hasn't worked out yet. No one has been like, that's the thing that I want to see. So it's like he took the game with the strongest story and the strongest characters, changed almost all of them, and then put his own
twice,
and then
now 3 times.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't think it's a good movie. I think it has some really cool scenes. And those scenes are when he was trying to copy the game as close as he possibly could.
It looked good.
And I'm glad that people are enjoying it and they're getting the whiffs of what makes Silent Hill special. Go out and play the game. Or, like I said, there's like a 2-hour cut and a 2.5-hour cut of all of the cutscenes of Silent Hill 2 remastered. Put that on instead. So if you're like, hey, I want to watch this on streaming, don't. Put YouTube on your TV and watch that, and you'll have a much better time because it's a better story.
I like that. Don't.
Stop it.
Yeah, so
help.
Check it out. Return to Silent Hill, budget $23 million, significantly less than 2006 Silent Hill's $50 million budget. Bro, what they did with $23 million here, the fucking sets, the fucking graphics, that's a miracle. I'll almost give you a whole point for that. I might go to 6 out of 10 because I'm like Alex, but maybe that makes it worse when you literally have everything right. You got the sets, you got the graphics, you got the set design, the props and the costumes and the characters, and then you fuck up the story.
Yeah.
Dude. So yeah.
And it wasn't coming up with an original story. All you had to do was kind of follow the.
And I guess he was feeling like people. Okay, now it's 30 years later. People have definitely want something, some twists, but I guess not. They just stick to the game. Stop it. Okay, well then that is the scores, and let's go ahead and go into the spoiler section so we can freaking talk about it. And we're gonna have to be careful with YouTube's detection system with some of these themes, because these are some serious themes here. So it's surface level enough, the monsters, that you're like, that's weird and creepy, and if you don't think about it, then you don't really know what it is. But when you do think about it and talk about it at length, yeah. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Come join us in the spoiler section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section for Silent Hill. Now I have to defer to let me real quickly say, Alex.
Yes.
Is it in the first game? James loves Mary. They were together. And then something happens to Mary. I think it was like cancer. She gets sick.
Yeah.
She has cancer. She's in the hospital. And then James has to take care of her, but he starts resentment. This is some hard ass shit, because he truly loves her, but at the same time, he starts to, his sexual needs as a man is not getting fulfilled, and that's what the nurses are. He's kind of like looking at the nurses, and those manifest as a monster, his sexual desires. And then Pyramid is a manifestation of his. It's
a construct he uses to punish himself.
To punish himself, right? As chasing himself and things. And then, so essentially what happens is James abandons Mary in a time of need, right? And then
he killed her.
He kills her.
He kills her.
Oh, he does kill her in the game?
He does it, but like the way they did it made it seem like she's like, oh, just do it. It was
happy and nice, because she's like, I want you to kill me, and he's like, okay, I want you. In the game, she has these violent mood swings because of the treatment she's under. She's nasty to him. She screams at him.
That makes it even worse. So such a difficult decision, even worse.
Because he wants to kill her for a bad reason, because he's like, she's terrible, she's ruining my life, I want to go back to normal. But he also wants to kill her to put her out of his misery, and so it sets up this crazy situation where it's complex. In this, she's like, hey, James, kill me, and he's like, cool. And that's what I'm saying, but they simplified it. They muted everything because.
And that's what I was thinking. It's like, why the hell is he there? Because that's not the way it was kind of depicted in the game. Because this is just like, hey, do this for me. It's like, hey, I'm helping. Like, this is what you want. I know you're going to die. He does it so gracefully.
So he never abandons her in the game?
He spends time away, but it's because she drives him away.
I'm thinking is that, because, this is a difficult situation for anybody to go through, he does the wrong thing and abandons her, but then later comes back, and then we have that final moment where he kills her.
Yeah.
Okay? And he felt resentment and guilt. And the Silent Hill is teleporting into them so that he can teleporting him to this fucking world so that he can deal with all this.
So it can kind of punish him for it too.
Because
he gets a letter. Like 3 years after her death, he gets a letter, and the Silent Hill sent him the letter, and it's like,
that's the scary part, because it's like, who sent the letter?
Yeah.
If she's dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the story, but that seems real. That's good. That's kind of what they did here. Now, they decided that they wanted to throw in some extra stuff. So I'm going to get real. Okay. How do I approach this? As she was growing, so there are manifestations of who Mary is. There's a little girl, and that's clearly, in my mind, is meant to be her innocence. Okay? These are aspects of Mary. Her innocence, and then you have Angela.
Talking about Laura?
Yes, Laura.
Yeah, Laura. Yeah. Laura is Mary's innocence.
In the movie, that's correct.
In the movie. Mm-hmm. And then you have Angela, who I don't really understand what this one represents, but this is an abused, woman who grew up with her father.
And so
that's all I'm saying. Some fucked up shit happened there, and it's depicted in this film, but in monstrous ways, separated enough where it's difficult to watch, but you can infer what happened to her in her childhood.
And so
right?
Angela
did that happen in the game?
Well, so Angela is Mary in the movie, and it's not the way in the game.
Angela is Mary in the movie, but not the game?
Not the game.
Who the fuck is Angela?
Angela is a woman that got summoned to Silent Hill because she's racked with guilt and she did some really bad things.
In Silent Hill? Or in her life?
Well, in her real life, she... In the game...
But why does she go to Silent Hill?
Well, because she killed 2 people and burned the house down. And so Silent Hill is like, you've done the bad thing and you're guilty about it.
Okay.
And so I'm going to torture you here. That's kind of like...
I kind of like that because it makes Silent Hill more a fucking supernatural Cthulhu kind of thing where anybody that does anything bad can be pulled into it. Here, the movie, and why I liked it and I thought it was faithful is because it's just dealing with James.
So they made both Lauren and Angela Mary. I think you're right where it's like Lauren is her children and her innocence, and Angela is her trauma from her childhood.
So wait a minute, the little girl is not Angela or Mary in the game?
No, so as Mary is in like treatment, she meets this little girl who was also in treatment. They both had cancer together, and so they even talked about like, hey, if we get better, I'll adopt you type thing. And so this little girl hates James because James isn't there, and he's like, wait a minute, you were with this guy and he's not here. And even the little girl, that's why she resents him and kind of tortures him. But as a little girl who's never murdered a bunch of people or done a bunch of evil things, she doesn't see monsters. So she like walks around in the street and
she's having a great time.
And she's like, she just teases James because she knows James to be kind of a jerk. But in this movie, she's like, no, I see the monsters and I'm just fucking with you, and it's like, why'd you come back? Because it is Mary, and part of her hates. So I like that too. Yeah. So that's why I say it's like an alternate version of Silent Hill, where all of the aspects of Mary's personality, and if this really is James going through this in his mind and having these episodes, then it makes sense that it's all Mary and different aspects of her personality. So I like that. It may not be as good as the video game because honestly, hearing that sounds like there's more depth to it and more realness to it. Like, creepy. I'll adopt you when we get better. Like, that's fucking heartbreaking. You want to cry. Yeah. And there's one of the endings where it's like James, because there's a lot of different things you can choose. If James decides to like deal with what he's done, he can kind of go off. And this was one of the endings in the end where he drives into the lake. I think it's called the Leave ending.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so like you can choose one.
I was going to ask that. Does that happen in the game? Is that the canonical ending where James drives and kills himself essentially?
Yeah, and like if I remember right, Mary's corpse is in his trunk and has been in his trunk the whole time.
Why?
Yeah, because he after he killed her, he just puts her body in the trunk and it's been there for like 3 years
because it can't handle it. Okay. Well, in this film, when he finally can forgive himself and deals with all the Mary trauma, the bed floats up as it's revealed that James was the one that actually killed her because
and we get
she
all
asked
the
for
scenes
it.
with all the Marys
And all the scenes with the Marys. And then it's resolved, and then she kind of turns into a butterfly, and she's released and can, pass on. But at the same time, he says a line where, like, I should have died with you, because he loves her so much. And so they kiss, and all the locusts or the moths surround them. Yeah. And then he's shown in his and then we see water, and the fucking Mustang slams into the water, and that's that painting that he painted Mary one time where she's just dead in the water with white eyes. And that's eventually what Mary's going to be. And it's crazy. So it teases at that. But then it quickly goes, oh, no, it didn't do that. Instead, he is driving the opening scene again, almost gets run over by a semi, knocks over Mary's suitcases because she was on her way out of Silent Hill. And they meet again, and he's like, this is strange.
Kind of goes back in time.
Because I'm aware of everything that happened, but now I can do it right. Yeah. So it's a happy ending. Or is it? So I like that. He could be fucking dead at the bottom of the lake, and this is what he's dreaming right before he dies.
One of the endings is really kind of cool because you can decide to ignore all the bad things that James ever did. He's like, I'm not going to deal with the fact that I killed my wife. None of that happens. And so he has this representation, like a slutty representation of his wife, Maria. And in one of the endings, you get in the car with Maria, you put your arm around her, and you drive off into the sunset, and everything's cool, but she coughs. And then, like, she coughs up some blood, and it shows you that the same thing's going to happen. So I was waiting. It's like, oh, he's going to drive off with her, and she's going to cough up some blood, and then we're going to get this whole thing where he's going to, we're going to start it. And then they didn't do that because he wanted to do his own thing again.
Yeah, but this own thing does fit the themes, and it does still work for me. So Maria, as a character, she's supposed to represent
James, like lust and like the fact because she's sick and he, they can't
have sex.
They can't do any of that. Yeah, and so it's like, but she's also outgoing, and so Mary is always dressed. She's got always buttoned up to here, right? And so she wears like sweaters and like a cardigan and all this other stuff. So she's very prim and proper. And so Maria is just like, I got the butterfly tattoo. She's super slutty, and so like that's like this is what I wish my wife could be.
Signaling, okay. Yeah. And she's the distraction, and that is him. Maybe in real life, if you want to manifest it, he would be trying to replace his wife with just some slutty chick and just imagining that that's his wife. And that's why at a certain point he realized this person's in my way, and he uses, in a moment in the movie, he uses Pyramid Head to fucking kill Maria. Does that happen in the game?
Pyramid Head does kill Maria, and she does like kind of come back like a few times, but it's like part of the thing is James isn't the one that does it. It's just more like, oh, wait a minute, yeah.
Okay. And then you kind of discover these things later. Because it's
because this one was different because the little girl Lauren, I wanted to punch her in the face in the game.
In the game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she locked him in a boss room, and he was so mad.
Well, that's what she does in this film, and I like it because it's like, oh yeah, you want to deal with this? Fucking deal with this. And she's like,
but she knows.
But she knows this one. She knows there's a boss one, and the other one, she's just a little girl like screwing with you.
Fuck that little bitch.
Because it looks like a normal hospital. It's like well lit. The wall.
But now they gave reasons for why the little girl is like going to confront these monsters. If you truly want to deal with it, you have to deal with these monsters. So I like it. I actually like it a little bit. Okay, but I just wish it was done better. Now the hospital. Let's talk about the nurses. That was done very poorly. It was done better. I can't remember 2006. Was it 2006?
That's the one well. They have to sneak past them, right?
That's the good one.
Yeah, and so they did a good job with that one. It was awful.
And then Revelations, the makeup is worse, but they still have to have the tension.
Yeah, because they're trying
to
yes, he's stuck in the bed, and the girl sneaks in, try to untie him, and they make noise, and they start moving. The bed falls over, and then they start slashing.
Oh, they start slashing.
So then they're trying to escape that.
Yeah. But this one, it's more he's on a quest to get to his wife, and he's going down the halls, and you see the nurses in their individual rooms, and then he ends up in a room, and you think that it's going to happen because they're all frozen. It's like, okay, now do tight shots of them moving, do this, do a slash where they get cut, but they don't do it into that because they run out of the room immediately, get into the elevator, and then they come after them.
He breaks a couple of them,
and it sucks. And then they even step on each other's heads, and it's like, no, it's like, I like it when they were all together, and it was done poorly. Now, they did have gross faces, so that was cool. They did the makeup on them.
I don't have any issue with the way that they looked. It's just I think the movements were wrong, and then
I have no issue the way they looked in Revelation, which was they didn't have a budget. Yeah. So, anyways, so that was done poorly. It
kind of hokey whenever he was running away from the spitters, though. He's like running.
Yeah, so let me ask you guys.
That looked pretty bad.
The enemies in Silent Hill 2, do they do that? They spit like from like a fucking vagina on their goddamn stomachs?
Yeah, they get
Oh, that's crazy. A little butthole spitting. And are their arms bound to them like that with skin that covers them, and they're kind of
I think so.
Bound? That's cool.
Yeah, I don't remember the spider one. Was it a spider one?
So that one is fucking crazy because that's like a manifestation of his wife, and then she turns into this spider lady with
I just don't like the spider.
And it's human but spider. It's gross, and her booty cheeks are hanging out, and then her head rolls around and then attaches. And it's good. I think it's fucking creepy. I love the design. That's not in the game.
That is, that's one of the things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the bosses.
I remember that.
And then it's Pyramid Head who ends up confronting it and crushing it and just beating it to a pulp and killing it.
Yeah, we don't resolve Pyramid Head here. We have only one scene with Eddie, and then they completely drop Eddie entirely.
Tell me who Eddie is supposed to be.
Eddie is a guy who'd been bullied his whole life, and then one day he snaps, and then he kills a dog, and then the guy who bullied him. And so he has a gun in Silent Hill, and it's because he's crossed the line and he finally kills someone. And so we have some scenes with Eddie, and then eventually James goes down there and he sees that Eddie has like killed some more people down in a basement, or like it's a meat locker technically. And then James is like, buddy, you can't kill him. And Eddie's like, are you trying to bully me? And then he starts to freak out, and then there's like this big gun boss battle thing with Eddie.
With Eddie.
But
That's
so
cool.
James kills him, and that's a real person in Silent Hill. So like James has to deal with the fact that he
kill
actually
somebody.
murdered somebody.
Well, that makes this Eddie suck balls.
He did.
There's no purpose of Eddie here. If you're going with the, all of these characters in Silent Hill are manifestations of Mary, who the fuck is Eddie? So you kind of fucked up there. You just threw in a fan service, member berries, and didn't tie it in well. So now I see why Alex was like on that. Okay. What else? The therapist, they kept showing the therapist through, broken glass, and I was like, okay, that's creative, but now I'm getting annoyed. Let's figure this out. They eventually do put her in clear. And in the games, is there somebody calling you and talking to you all the time? Because it did feel very, very video game-like where I'm listening. It's like talking to her. That's not
The whole therapist and real-world thing where he wakes up in the hospital completely made up for this.
Okay, so I think that's for maybe what he does for mass audiences to help them understand his shattering psyche and that he needs help getting over Mary. So maybe that's used as a crutch. Didn't really need it. You could have done that in a different way. Maybe we could have saved that time for other things.
They held it for this reveal for a long period of time where eventually the therapist goes like, she's been dead for months. It's like, you could have easily had this been dropped like in the beginning of the movie.
That's weird.
And that's why the letter is weird, right? Where he gets this letter and it's a letter from his wife like, come to our spot. And he's like, holy shit, my wife's dead. And he doesn't remember.
Why doesn't he say anything to the therapist or anybody?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they would have done what they did the last 20 minutes, like, start from the beginning. It's like, okay, well, she's dead. It's like, okay, I need to figure out what happened, who really sent me this, and then kind of get the little
So now we have to
pieces.
talk about this Satan cult. They throw in a subplot where Mary isn't just a beautiful girl on her way out. No, it turns out she is tortured running from a satanic cult-like thing where her father is some kind of
cult
leader and has so much power that other people revere him and they look at her as an extension of him or something, and they're always in their house. They come over unannounced, and he's like, who the fuck are all these people? Get out. And then there's a shrine to her father. I guess after he died, they made the shrine, and then there's Moth. So I'm like, are Moth supposed to represent her father, or are Moth supposed to represent her? Number one, is the death cult in the game?
No.
Number two, the Moth. Is that in the game?
There's like moths and stuff around, but not.
What are they supposed to represent?
I mean,
the
moths and butterflies are always
change,
change, and but I don't think that there was anything in there that they represent.
Okay, so this man, her father is so powerful. Not only can he do whatever he wants in the city, he's just royalty, but then he also does fucked up shit too.
In the movie they change it where she's Angela. So Angela's story is Mary's story. So not only was he poisoning her, like literally dumping poison in her mouth her entire life, which gives her the illness.
Is that Angela or Mary?
In the movie, they're the same person.
I know, but in the game, was that Angela's story where her father was poisoning her?
Not poisoning, but the other thing.
Oh, the other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angela, father, and I think brother.
Okay.
And so she kills both of them and then burns them, and then she's in Silent Hill looking for her mother, but Silent Hill had lured her there. It's like, hey, your mommy's here, and it's really
So what I don't understand and what I don't get is there's a scene where James shows up and he sees them underground, and there's a grate in between them, and she's doing the fucking eyes wide shut shit where they give her like a fucking cult mask, and then she lays down. and then they do stuff to her, but then
covered
she's
in blood?
lifted,
Yeah.
and then they're like eating her, but they're not eating her. It's like blood on top of her. Like what is this shit? This didn't make sense to me.
It fits Silent Hill, so I don't hate the idea. Because I mean, Silent Hill.
But I don't know what that's supposed to represent.
I don't know what
Maybe
he-
somebody
They
smarter than
didn't
us
set
in the
it up
comments.
right, but
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because there's a bunch of weird histories with like Satanist cults and the prison and the hospital and all that, the plagues and stuff. That kind of fits. It's just they made it up for this one, and it's
it
like
must have
maybe,
been cut somewhere.
There has to be a little bit more on that because let's assume that in real life Mary is in this cult, and every once in a while they do this ritual. Her father has passed away, that's why they have a shrine to her father, but they still like her as a part of their cult and family. And every once in a while they cover her in blood and gross meat, and they eat it in glory of Satan or her father or whatever. So I guess they don't actually eat her, they don't actually kill her or anything. But then at the same time, see, that's why I was like, well, in the movie they make it more complex when it should have been simple. Look, she's got cancer, that's it, right? Here it is, she's in a death cult, people are eating her. Oh, by the way, she has cancer too. And then I get, what? And then where were those people when she was sick? You would think that if they revere her and love her so much, they'd be at her bedside. But
they were poisoning her on purpose,
disappeared.
right? Because I mean, we see them pouring the stuff in their mouth, and so I mean, it's not mountain spring water they're dumping in there. They probably
Okay, so now you're implying that in the movie she doesn't have cancer. It's this slow poison.
Yeah,
from
she said they've been poisoning me since I was a little girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I was mixing the game
game,
and stuff to try to put that on there. Okay,
Yeah, this one it just seems like
cancer's better.
it's like a mercy killing. I mean, they're both mercy killing techniques, but she literally says, "Hey, I want you to do this. I've been tortured my whole life. I need you to do this kind of thing."
And then she also mentioned something that I was like, "Oh, is this something inside of her?"
Yeah.
Meaning,
Yeah. Well, because I mean, especially once Lauren's like, "What is Mary's full name, James?" And her full name is
All of 'em.
Mary Laura Angela Crane, and so it's like,
so if she says that there's something growing inside of her, and
I don't think it's like growing inside. I just see like evil.
because of what she's
She's
went through in the
carrying
past.
that stuff, not
Well,
like.
see, I was trying to make a jump between who's the little baby, the baby crying, the little fucked up, gross looking baby that Laura's running around with. I was thinking,
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
her father had done something, but then no, because I guess her father probably passed away long ago. It's not like he passed away 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right, okay. So they do the ashes. The effect looks good, fine. Whenever he goes, he hears the sirens, and he goes into Silent Hill. You could see it growing out from his hand. So in this, it comes from him. In the previous Silent Hill movies, it just transfers.
Yeah.
It's not coming from him. I kind of like the coming from him, but okay. And then, were those bugs in the video game?
No. Well, I mean, there's bugs, but not like the close up. Like we actually, they made an effect that they liked.
Interesting design.
Yeah, they had an effect they really like, and they showed off the effect. So
The mouth.
yeah, and when they eat a rat and stuff, and it's
They're
kind
gross
of
little guys. They're like got shells on them, but they're like little creatures.
yeah. There was no puzzle. I mean, the whole
I liked
Silent
it.
Hill is like tons filled with puzzles. So we didn't see any
No
of the puzzles or any of those things. We sprint through the apartment building. We sprint through. I mean, honestly, the hospital. We sprint through.
I didn't even know it was a hospital because it was so fucking dirty.
Yeah, I mean, we just.
Silent Hill.
I mean, we rushed through all of those things super fast. I know it's a movie, and you got to, but I mean, it was.
That's what
But
I
so
said. I
is
think
it-
it's better as a TV series on HBO or something.
But the game, the cutscenes you're saying, it's still like 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's
Yeah.
still,
Right. So, okay, if you want to save money and you don't want to go out and spend money, go to the theater for this, watch this shit on YouTube. It is fascinating. It's interesting. Form your own opinions of what symbolism, what does this mean? What does the moths mean? What is that, referring to? It's fun. It's interesting. It's
Yeah, it's
horrific.
good.
And it's dealing with trauma. And I think the game does it well. And the game does it better. So if the game is a fucking 9, 8, 9, 10 territory for people, this is definitely we're in the, as Joe and Alex says, 3 territory. I'm over here at 5 just because I'm less familiar with some of this stuff. and a little bit more forgiving on the takes, because it seems like it's somewhat faithful to the ideas and themes. It just narrowed its focus, but we like the nurses and the pyramid head in the world, and we like that horror, and we want that more instead of just let me resolve my drama.
Yep.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much. Tell us what you think down in the comments below, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.